Marquette has changed quite a bit over the years, and if you look at pictures taken decades apart, sometimes that change is quite apparent. For instance, here's a very cool shot of Lake Street in downtown Marquette from the late 1800s. This was part of the legendary seedy underbelly of Marquette, the section of town that was at one time filled with bars and rooming houses and even a few brothels. However, if you take the exact same picture from the exact same place today, doesn't look quite as seedy, does it? Or as much of an underbelly either. The area behind Marquette's post office and federal building is one big parking lot right now, but I venture to guess that there are some of you who may remember it looking like this. Before the parking lot for the post office took over, it was home to places like Marquette Bottling Works, which supplied parts of the UP with various pops and soft drinks. Now, if you stand on the corner of Front and Main today and look south, you'll see a clean business district with lots of parking. But if you were to have stood on the exact same corner back in, say, the 1920s, you'd see a lot more. You'd see an old railroad trestle about to be torn down and replaced by a new one. You'd see buildings where parking lots now stand. And if you looked hard enough, you'd also catch a glimpse of some of the famed restaurants and bars that once called the 300 block of South Front Street home. Now, speaking of famed bars, I'm guessing most of you recognize the one on the left-hand side of the picture, right? Well, it now sits in the middle of a surprisingly clean block of South 3rd Street. However, it wasn't always that clean. The railroad, of course, is gone now, replaced by the Commons building. And between the trains and the horses, I'm guessing that part of 3rd Street smells a whole lot better now than it did then. Finally, two shots taken about 150 years apart are pictures that show just how much Marquette has changed since its founding. The first picture is the famous cannon picture overlooking the Cleveland Dock and Ripley's Rock. In fact, the cannon itself is the one that legend says was pushed into the lake near the rocks. That picture was taken almost exactly where the Father Marquette statue now stands, and if you stand in that same location and take the same picture, you now see this. A few things have changed in a century and a half, a sign that Marquette itself is a constantly evolving organism. And for those of you who don't live here anymore, if you're curious, that building under construction is the new 2 Marquette Place.